Hi, today should be September 25th, 2023, but it's actually like just a little bit into the 26th. But let's pretend that it's still the 25th, and here are my poems for the day being the 25th day of September. And the first one is poem number 1546 for the year, Broken Buddha. While everyone else was out or sleeping, the cat knocked the Buddha to the floor, and now bits and pieces and chunks of the Buddha are gone. Forgiveness was given, although not asked for. The cat didn't seem to give a shit that he broke the Buddha. The Buddha didn't seem to give a shit that he had been broken. This all happened years ago. It's water under the bridge. It's like it never happened. But the Buddha is still broken and may remain forever unrepaired. Poem number 1547, Broken Buddhas. The broken Buddha was like, why should I give a shit that I am broken? Buddhist temples all over the world have broken Buddhas in them, not to mention museums. Although now that I've mentioned museums, there's an exhibit at the Met that's up until mid-November called Tree and Serpent, Early Buddhist Art in India, 200 BCE to 400 CE. And that show is silly, with broken Buddhas and other broken shit. 600 fucking years of broken shit in that exhibit. There's a railing pillar with Yaksha, which is like a tree spirit, standing on Makara, who's like a water monster deity circa 2nd century BCE. And let me tell you, that motherfucker hasn't got a face. The Yaksha, the Makara looks fine, considering the Yaksha is standing on his fucking back. There's a Dharma wheel pilaster, Dharma Kakrastamba, from 300 CE. Looks like somebody took a bite out of the motherfucker. And there's another Yaksha, Pratravya. It's nothing like that. It's Patravakra Yaksha, dated about 50 BCE, and he's got no nose, no arms, no legs. My man Patravakra Yaksha is fucked, which reminds me of a joke, the broken Buddha said. And then he stopped talking. Poem number 1548, Adjustment. I asked the broken Buddha about the joke, and he said, you wouldn't like it. It's fucked. It's a fucked joke. Well, what's wrong with it, I asked. The woman is helpless, and a man comes to help her, the Buddha says. You could reverse the genders, I suggested. Fuck me, that's brilliant, said the broken Buddha. I will make that adjustment and tell you the joke. Great, I said, although by this time I was beginning to lose interest. Poem number 1549, Fucked Joke. There's a man with no arms and legs in a little cart on a bridge above a river, and he's crying and crying and crying, the broken Buddha began. And a woman comes walking along and says, little man, because he was little, because he had no arms or legs. Little man, the woman said, why are you crying? The little man said, I'm 26 years old, and no woman has ever held me in her arms. The woman said, I will hold you. She picked him up and held him. The man continued to cry. What's wrong? The woman asked. The man said, I'm 26 and I've never been kissed either. And the woman kissed the man, but the man kept on crying. The woman said, what's wrong now? And the man said, I'm 26 and I've never been fucked. And the woman takes the man to the edge of the bridge and throws him into the river and says, now you're fucked. Poem number 1550. This is the last poem for the day. Taking my leave. I said to the Buddha, it doesn't actually help that much to reverse the genders because the joke is still offensive to the differently able. And the Buddha said, well, I did say the joke was fucked. Then the Buddha continued, I dedicate that joke to all of my broken brothers and sisters trapped in museums, languishing in temples, longing to be restored, but instead being ignored. I said, I thought you didn't give a shit that you were broken. The broken Buddha said, I don't give a shit about my suffering, but I wish for all of my broken brothers and sisters to be free from suffering. And I hope that someone rescued that little man and that he received any medical attention he might have needed. Your compassion is boundless and infinite, I said to the Buddha, somewhat respectfully and somewhat sardonically. Boundlessness and infiniteness are synonymous concepts, said the Buddha. At which point I took my leave, as my compassion for the broken Buddha was beginning to wane. Perhaps I need to meditate more. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.